Once upon a time, there was a sacred tree that supposedly had a power. The power to cure any disease. All parts of the body from leaves, roots, stems can be made a powerful medicinal herb to heal if blended by a great pharmacist. At that time also lived a great pharmacist who was great and expert in concocting herbal medicines, but the villagers were more named as shamans. People who have magic to cure illnesses, and generally he was just an ordinary pharmacist. The shaman was a philanthropist who always sells his products at low prices to poor people. Even not infrequently, he eliminates those who cannot pay. In that village, there lived an elder who was usually called an ustad by villagers. This cleric has 2 young children. The children often played under the sacred tree that settled in the middle of the cemetery. The shaman would take the inside of a sacred tree that had extraordinary properties for eternal use, and the only way to take it was to cut down the tree. Before, when the shaman had not yet swung his axe, came the cleric prohibited him from approaching the tree. The reason being that the tree, which had lived thousands of years, was a friend of his children. The cleric gave his lecture to residents not to commit acts of shirk. Away from the practice of shamanism, he did not mention the person, but all the villagers knew that the intended person was the only shaman in this village. The next day, all the villagers turned away and refused the shaman who was considered to have practiced black magic. Finally, the shaman's business went bankrupt, and worse, the residents burned down his house and evicted him from the village. After a few months later, his children were seriously ill, and he had tried various methods and drugs, but to no avail, until finally he remembered the sacred tree and the shaman who was good at concocting medicine. He finally decided to go an adventure with his horse, looking for the shaman throughout the region. 2 weeks, he finally found the shaman living deep in the northern forest to avoid the villagers. The cleric pleaded and wept as loudly as he could, apologize for all the events of the past to the shaman so the shaman could help his children. But the shaman was a man, ordinary people who have emotions and grudges that have been stored because he had been treated unfairly. The shaman was looks lame, has long lived his old age in the forest, far from humans, hard to get food and survive. Because of that, the shaman didn't apologize to the cleric. Then, a few days later, his children died along with the death of this tree.